my hope, and one of the things that I'm really proud of, is I feel like that so many people loved MetaCannes last year, and it's additive to their lives. That time is the only resource that we cannot recover. So if people are going to come into MetaCannes and spend time, I want them to be entertained or moved or, feel, and I have been thinking about, I do think about the audience. That's really something that I find a lot of pleasure in. And I hope that like next year we'll be able to expand and even have more value to offer.
This week episode is brought to you by none of Secret Supply of Sauce, the best sauce known to mankind and available on shelf anywhere. Even when the freezer is full of sauce, there is still no sauce for you. You want summer Nona sauce? Too bad, only Nona decides who gets the sauce.
This week's episode is brought to you by WWZ Game, the only project out there capable of putting a reverse countdown on Papa Mags because we can't keep up with the progress. Did we say interoperability with ETH? My bad. We meant interoperability with ETH and Solana and Polygon. Some projects talk about it, other projects be about it. Follow along on X at WWZ Game and join the Discord for all the updates.
Papa's popping and locking, Magnum scrutinizing. Papa Max Pinecast.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 51 of the Zilly Award-winning Poppin' Mags Pinecast. Mags, how you doing?
I've been better. I've been worse. How about you? I heard you're not feeling so hot today.
Yeah, I've been better. I've been worse, but I've definitely been better.
Haven't we all?
The beauty of baseball season in the Northeast comes with a major packing of a punch when it comes to my seasonal allergies. So hopefully we just get through this and on with the rest of the summer.
All right. Yeah, spring is definitely in the air up here. I love it.
Yeah, spring has sprung in my face for sure. So yeah, we going through a quick hitter here style. Did you see the huge news this week? Fuse Wars now listed on Epic Games. How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
That's pretty amazing. I know that in the last interview Ivory had, that he was mentioning that he'd been working with Epic for 5 years and he's got Epic Dev. So now it seems like a step in the direction of completion here by getting on to Epic, and hopefully we can get some Syndex tokens here pretty soon too.
That'd be nice to see.
And other tokens at that.
Yeah, that was sounded like Large Marge, as you would say.
Yeah, that was very big. So very exciting. I'm going to throw you off a little bit here, and I'm going to pull HGH Corner.
Whoa!
Till now, yeah. Let's get right into it. HGH with the Community Art Challenge, and shout out to my daughter who drew a Mrs. Claus pug for me and entered the challenge, and bang, won myself a gauntlet puggy that I promised her I'd give her. So
dang,
shout out double shout out.
Congrats.
I noticed this week that there was the giveaway that was done for Camp Theta.
Yeah.
I know there was lots of drama going on. It's this unknown whale account came in Large Marge, as we would say, and it appears that probabilities came true. And was it the same whale? I believe I saw that Camp Kyle posted that the same address won both the ticket and the Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, I will say I was trying to find, that's fact. I was trying to find the actual like posting of the video that Kyle did, and I like how he did it because he just did it by he must have checked that all the sloths had the full thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he had them on. He just had the numbers on the wheel, so if that number came up, then that's what it was. So it looks. I'm just, the reason why I was looking for the video and I can't find it was the mystery account. He or she bought a sloth off the market, and I think that one came up. So I don't know if that was
Oh,
which is, yeah. So I think they spent 1,500 T fuel on it. So I mean, someone did that to themselves, hypocritically speaking, right?
yeah,
But then,
yeah.
but then again, if they didn't have the full set, then it wouldn't have been on there. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't argue the fact that the whale count had it and they got it. But then also today, the whale, this whale, I don't know, man. I was looking again. He must have made a deal with the Brian Macer of Thetacon
Oh,
fame,
really?
and Brian Macer is now going. It appears because he bought a fish from the
Oh,
guy
nice.
off the book. So apparently Brian knows who this who also had a shout out last episode, which
Yeah.
is funny. Um, and then the whale then bought his or her third Panama flag. So
Wow. Wow.
power moves going on with this mysterious account though.
And those Panama flags, those are like in-game multipliers during the time there. Is that
They're like
how it works?
bonuses or something like uh, they're like bonuses, in-game bonuses that because they don't have to be at thing because the person who holds that can like who they going to tip the scale for. So now this
Right.
now this dude or dudettes got three of them. So who knows if they're planning on going or they're just looking to milk some stuff. But interesting, super interesting.
I'm wondering if that, because that person has more than one, is that like a massive multiplier?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's by event, a bonus per event for one of them. I guess we'll have to find out what Camp Kyle's got in store for them all. I still want to go too, so but it's going to be pricey to get a ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Sounds like a great time though, and it's definitely something that I hope that I can attend at some point. I just wonder if they are, each of the animals is associated with an event. What's the sloth event, right?
Um,
Whoever sleeps the longest.
ha, man, I do have the Panama sloth
Oh,
myself, so
nice.
and I can sleep. I woke up at noon today,
Oh, yeah, you are good at that. I'm not
so
sure the
that's
last
it.
time that happened for me.
Maybe the scavenger hunt. I don't know. Seems like could be a sloth type thing, but I mean, you want to be anti-sloth, I guess, for a scavenger hunt, but then again, you want to
Yeah,
be anti-sloth for a lot of things.
maybe hide and seek. Are they good? Are they
Ah,
good? Are they good hiders?
I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah,
They seem camouflaged.
it's shaping up, and I know Dole has a fish, so it looks like we have General Dole and Brian Macer confirmed, and someone has a mystery guy has two tickets, and then another another account has one listed for 33,000 T fuel. So
Wow.
who knows? This is up in the air of who's who. So
Yeah. Well, sounds like good company already for sure.
yep,
All right. Well, listen, we got news from our agent this week that we need to,
wrap it up.
shorten the episodes. So
Okay.
we had an absolute great time this week with the founder of the squad, a Film 3 pioneer, who just so happens to have a drop coming out starting this Friday that you can already see on Thetadrop as active, even currently, now that we're here on Sunday and on the other
Yep.
side of Friday. But yeah, you know what I was thinking, dude? We don't know many women in this space, but the women that we know are all so high quality. You know what I
It's
mean?
true. Yeah.
They're and it's like they obviously there's high quality men in the space as well, but if you take an
Present
average.
company included.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah, of
right? We
course.
we tip
Yeah.
the scales, one way or the other for sure. But, yeah, no, I was just thinking that it's like, there's not too many of them, but all of the ones that are involved are very respectable and hardworking and people that you wanna get behind and, be a part of the same team. So
Absolutely.
that goes with our current guest as well this week, who, as you've figured out by now, is none other than the Jordan Bayne. And you can hear that
after these messages.
Uncle Swampy bought multipliers and he wants our play now.
Call Chris and Dan. 87R Play now. 87R Play now. The 10s and 10s bought privately and they want our play now. Call Chris and Dan. 87R Play now. 87R Play now.
My dad made me watch lots of movies, so I want our play now.
Call Chris and Dan. 87R Play now. 87R Play now.
Now.
It's your R Play. Use it when you need it.
Listen, don't get me started. No, seriously, Popper, I never get to talk to you. And how are you? Listen to this, first of all,
Yes.
Popper.
What was that?
Max, do you know what that was?
It was like a pirate's bottle of
Uncorking?
rum.
It was exactly. I've been waiting for this moment. Even though I wasn't feeling well, I was like, I am saving this bottle of wine for the boys. First of all, no, you know what? I'm just going to let you guys run this. I think I have everything turned off. I think.
Okay.
Sounds good for
I
me.
mean, when I mean turned off, I mean like anything that will beep.
Gotcha.
So that Max doesn't have to like go through it and go like, oh, fuck that, beep.
Well,
And
we're not
edit.
going to be on. We're not going to be on at 10:40 p.m. when Alexa goes off, so we should be good on that.
Yeah, that's good. I can't figure out how to shut that thing off.
Alexa comes and talks to you? She didn't in our last.
No, she signed me up for this, like, hey, let's help you get to sleep and like wind you down with some like nice music. And I was like, oh, that was a good idea. And but the problem is it goes low and then you have to manually push it high. So every day I have to like switch it to go higher to like full blast Alexa. And I actually unplugged it. I was looking to see if it moved.
Oh
But
wait,
it
you've
didn't, but
got
I
like one of
unplugged it.
those actual things that's actually just Alexa. This is not like Alexa. Oh, I know what. Yeah, you have like a thing. Okay.
I got a Bezos.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I was like, Alexa, shut off 1040 alarm. There is no 1040 alarm. And then at 1040, these like soothing sounds come.
Ah.
And then it will even ask me to sign up for it again. And I was like, that's the thing I signed up for. How do I unsign up for this? It's free, which is nice, but it's annoying.
So good. So good. All right, boys. Well,
right.
what are we gonna do?
This week on the Pinecast, Jordan Bayne is here, and if you don't know her, she's the mind behind a lot of things, but best known for being a Swiftie, even better known for being Justine Bateman's best friend. Little known fact. Jordan, welcome back to the Pinecast.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Well, those are two really interesting touch points. Yeah, listen, I have to confess, it's true. I had never listened to a Taylor Swift song that I knew of until last September. And then I was listening and I was like, yeah, okay. It's all right. It's a little poppy for me, you know. I mean, but then I listened to this song called Don't Blame Me, I think is the title, and I was like, holy fuck. Like, who is this? And then I sort of really did a deep dive and I realized that, and I also have to give a shout out to my friend Stephen Murray because he literally, she was his first client in a company he had called Amplifier. And he says, to this day, he says she was the smartest person he's ever worked with in his life. And what I admire the most about her and what made me quote unquote a Swiftie is her business. She's a mastermind. She will think about Easter eggs, which I consider like utility or rewards, and she thinks about her community all the time. And I don't know. I mean, isn't that what we're all about? Like, really, if we are talking about creator-led communities, whether you're a PFP project or whether you're like a filmmaker like myself, where I'm trying to build community out there to power creators to be able to make films, I think that aside from our need to express ourselves and to tell our stories, I think our next best friend is our community. So there you go. How do you like that as a start, Mags? Well done.
I had communities utility. I had that going a lot later, but I I had a bet, but okay. No, that's a great start. But
We could talk about Justine later.
well, okay, okay. I mean, there's lots to unpack. You do have not a Pinecast. It's like a real podcast.
I do.
Uh, and a lot of this content I'm actually aware of because I have listened a few times. So it's the what is it? The Film 3
The
OG?
name of the podcast?
Yeah,
The Film 3 OG and the Next Wave of Cinema.
the next wave of cinema. I can only remember so much. But check that out where fine Pinecasts are downloaded.
Oh yeah. No, and in fact, I can't remember what episode it is, but there's this really incredible like promo in front of one of them.
Yeah. Did Popper ever hear that?
I-
Popper, have you ever listened to Jordan stuff?
I mean, is it a
Silence.
Twitter Spaces?
No, no. It's a podcast, but
on Spotify and Apple and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts
or Pinecast.
or podcasts.
Yeah.
I've
I take
listened
that as
to
a
as
no.
many of hers as I've listened to ours.
Okay, that many. I'll have to share that with him, Jordan, after the show.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, I will send it
Well, I'm
over.
at least
I will,
two
I will
ahead of you then, Popper.
All right, it's a race. You're on.
Hi, boys. What's happening in the theta world?
There's a lot, but
Yeah.
you know what's happening? You know what's happening
we're talking about
coming
the
soon?
drama.
The
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
What you do?
We'll
Fuck.
no, we'll dice that up before our thing, Jordan.
All right.
Don't want to bog you down.
I'm
with
only 2 sips in. I'm not in the cups yet.
Uh, so this is coming out next week. That's typically how people record, or they can or not. Some do it live, but MetaCannes 2024 is coming out.
The MetaCannes Film 3 Festival 2024. It is. It's tickets have gone on sale Friday, March or May 3rd. They I guess on sale I don't know, we call them that pre-fund. So you're still in we're still in the pre-fund stage. And at this point, you know that there have been 2 tiers that we offered this year. So 8 super special people got tier 2, which is the streaming gold, and then we have obviously special people as well who picked up the regular streaming pass, and I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, I think you guys know I talk about utility a lot. I think the community is the utility, and again, I just think that if you are coming into Web3, it should be at the top of your mind where you can what value you can bring to your community. So I think a lot about that when I curated MetaCannes last year and this year, and I'm pretty excited, and I think the community is excited. And the festival opens up on May 12th and runs through May 25th.
And so there might be some new people to the show. And MetaCannes, does that have anything to do with the Cannes Film Festival?
It does. I've always admired the Cannes Film Festival. I've always felt very connected to the international cinema world. I cut my teeth on as an American on what we call foreign films, on Ingrid Bergman. I mean Ingmar Bergman and Antonioni, and the French New Wave. So a lot of the stuff that came out that has come out of Cannes has always inspired me as a filmmaker and as a storyteller. So when it came around to what are we going to name the only on-chain, on-demand virtual film festival in the world, it just seemed like we talk about the metaverse all the time, and it's meta this, meta that, and I was like, MetaCannes, and let's do it during the Cannes Film Festival. And it it fit, right? So even like we tried out Meta Film 3 Fest, which is good, but ultimately we have, decided to rebrand everything under MetaCannes, because it's just got a really good sound. And also really when you take a look at what's been curated for MetaCannes, it's far more international than what you would see in a lot of American film festivals. So it just made sense.
Can you tell us a little bit about the curation process and what went into it?
Sure. I feel like as a filmmaker that, and especially for the short form filmmakers, because it's really difficult, obviously, to get a feature film made. It's why Film 3 has been born out of those pain points, and it's a lot of time. But sometimes you can get a short form film made, and you can kind of scratch that itch of like co-creating with other amazing people, actors, um, cinematographers, production designers, composers. But what happens is a lot of time, and even with like indie films, they can't find a home. And so they might run the festival circuit, but then they kind of don't have a place to live. And so they end up in hard drives and there's not a lot of distribution deals out there. And I just felt like there's a lot of stuff I can tap into, that I can pull from some really great films that I know that have been made literally in the last decade, and that I want to be able to curate, that don't have a life afterwards. And you think about all the talent that is inside those individual films. You think about the work of the actors and the cinematographers and the director and everyone else in the crew, and you think it's got to have more than a lifetime of a year, and then you can't find it. And it's just out of frustration for me because there's a lot of things that I'd like to see. And the other thing is, you know, a lot of people can't travel to film festivals around the world, so they miss out on some of these really spectacular storytellers. And then the other thing is, in curating, I really want to support the creators in the film 3 world that are, utilizing, again, creator led communities. They're utilizing strategies out of Web3, whether it's funding through NFTs or sort of crowdsourcing and using each other's resources to make these things. So we've been able to do a little bit of that. With the bear market over the last a couple years, it's again getting films funded has still been challenging, even if it's a short one. So I wanted to provide a place where some of these films could be seen, and then finally this year I was able to reach out to a couple partners, and I really wanted to be able to showcase some of the filmmakers that I might not know. And so I asked Sean Morrison from the Black Chain. She's been an incredible leader in the Web3 space. She's spoken at VCon and Consensus, and she has her own Proof of Culture podcast. But she had, the ability to curate a more experimental block of films and filmmakers that I would not have traditionally. Well, I didn't know them, most of them, except for one. So I'm really excited about that because it's, when you look at a film festival and you go into most established film festivals, they're going to have feature films, they're going to have short film blocks, they're going to have experimental films and things like that. And then, of course, for the second year, I've now named it a MetaCannes Next, because as a program, I think it's going to be a massive leader. But it's an AI cinema block, and we literally have, for the second time, the pioneers, the trailblazers in AI cinema, who are showing a collection of those works as well. So I'm pretty excited about the curation. I think a lot about it, try to find a balance in it, and this year you know we'll see what happens next year. I think next year we will have probably a screening committee. We'll probably level up and use Film Freeway and to open up the submissions, but still keep sort of this core ethos of finding the best films out there that we can bring to our community on Theta, especially, and things that they might not get a chance to see. So, I don't know. I might have like just put you both to sleep.
No, you're good. I'm curious though, how many submissions did you get and how many films are entered?
I didn't get submissions this year. It was completely curated. So I think we have 40 films altogether. I imagine next year we're gonna have 20 times that, because I believe the early submission deadline will be in August once we get it set up. And then the screening committee will start to go through a lot of those films until we make our choices and our probably our selections. If I think about MetaCannes 2025, we'll probably have those selections done by mid 1st of March. So it's nice. It's going to give us a long runway there for a lot more films. But the last 2 years have been pure curation.
Is this year coming up gonna be starkly different than last year in any way?
No, I don't think so. I feel like that we're showing some really powerful award-winning films, which is something that I wanted to do. And um I feel like that well, listen, AI cinema is just out of control. It's so incredible. It's moving so fast. I mean, I have to think that someone's gonna put out something while Medican is happening that's gonna blow our minds, but, I had to stop the curation like 2.5 weeks ago, so, and that's how fast it goes, so but I think that people are gonna find things that they like. There, as far as genres, there's drama, there's comedy, there's romance, there's, experimental, there's, some horror in there, so yeah, I think there's a little bit of everything.
Jordan, I mean, Popper's probably going to say something,
Mhm.
but so you said AI cinema or AI film?
I like to call it AI cinema because I just think the word cinema also encompasses anime, animation, so but I also use the word film for television because it's filmed entertainment. So, it's interchangeable.
Okay, I'm a little bit smart on that. Um, and actually, too, I don't think I've really seen any AI cinema myself. So
That means you didn't watch last year's.
I did watch
Well,
last
then
year's. I didn't watch everything last year,
then
though.
you've seen it. Then you've seen some AI cinema. Um, we had an AI film block last year, so, uh,
Oh,
um,
the more you know.
ah, um,
Yee.
I don't,
Self burn.
did he say self burn or salt burn?
Self burn.
Oh,
That
salt
was a
burn.
selfie. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have this feeling neither of you saw Saltburn.
I no, I did not. The only one I remember is The Irish Goodbye. That's the only one I
Dude,
remember.
Saltburn was a major film last year that was super controversial. I would have loved to have had it in
Oh,
Medican.
Jordan,
Joke on that.
look who you're talking to here.
Saltburn.
We don't do controversy, Jordan.
I heard that. I've heard that on replay. I mean, sorry.
Whoa, hey.
Whoa.
Hey, you kept saying AI film. I was trying not to go there.
Oh,
No controversy here. What was the question?
I was talking about the makeup or cosmetics of AI, the avant-garde new cinema style uh, that the contemporaries are checking out in the film festival format, essentially.
Mhm.
That's how I talk.
Mhm.
That's how I talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
self burn number 2.
Yeah. Jordan, you mentioned we're obviously here prior to the reveal of what the drop is, unfortunately. But you mentioned there's two
Not
different.
because I'm literally talking as if this is Tuesday.
Okay, yes, it's Tuesday right now. But for those suckers where it's not quite Tuesday yet,
That's like I said, it went live on Friday, May 3rd.
yes. No, you did a great job. I just wish that I could see in the future, which is really the past right now. But you mentioned there was two different tiers, right? Can we get a little
Yeah.
insight into what those tiers, the difference between the tiers are?
Yes, would love to tell you about that. So for the 8 lucky people who got the MetaCannes streaming gold pass, not only does that unlock the film festival and the token gated Discord channel, but those 8 people will get their names put on the website as the gold finger. Do you guys get that? Gold finger.
Yep.
Cold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Bond boys. As Goldfinger supporters. So, because of gold, right? And so they'll get a shout out on the website on which will be around as long as I am. And then and something else really special that I can only say that they are going to get to claim an ancient artifact coin. And all I can say is if you know me at all, you know 2 things or 3. 1, I don't do anything. What is it? What is it?
half-assed.
Well, that's true. I actually don't do anything half-assed, and I wish I could have that skill. I don't do anything without intention. And I love to surprise and delight. I love stealth. And just imagine that there might be some surprise and delight to this mysterious ancient artifact coin that the streaming gold pass will
Are we
be able to
talking
claim.
like Mayan gold here?
Mayan gold, ancient artifact, gold, Goldfinger,
Ancient.
gold. It's
Interesting.
gonna be fun. I think
But
it's fun. I think I've got some fun things lined up. But you have to be one of those 8 holders to be able to know to have that mystery revealed. And then they can tell anybody they want.
So that falls into the a possible Easter egg, Jordan, that you've alluded
Yes,
to.
Easter eggs. I love
Eas-
Easter eggs. I'm not
I love Easter candy. But
sweethearts.
is the shout out Sweethearts?
My new sponsor.
Oh, we take them too, right, Papa?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Is there
Oh.
any Jordan? I know. So I don't know. Thetadrop does these challenges.
Mm,
Is there any challenges?
there's a
or
challenge in play right
Oh,
now.
oh,
Yeah. First of all, I just a shout out Mags for,
what?
well, you told me about the challenge. I didn't know what a challenge was, and then you were like,
That was my challenge.
Your challenge has been to educate me, quite frankly. So, I mean, I'm just gonna,
That is scary.
I'm just keeping it real, man. So yes, there is a challenge in play. If you own the MetaCannes 2023 streaming pass, and if you own the MetaCannes, either of the MetaCannes streaming passes,
Gold original recipe.
yeah, 24.
Yeah.
But then you can go in the challenge and claim a MetaCannes bull. That makes you a MetaCannes bull. So it's a little NFT. But you have to own them both in order to be able to claim that. It's fun. I also spun up that design.
Oh, we're looking at it right now.
Wait, so
No,
you're an artist too?
I
What?
have designed everything that has come out from the squad.
So
I mean,
you're
I'm
a
not sure that.
woman of
I
many
mean,
talents.
I am a. What do they say? Necessity is the mother of invention.
Indeed.
Dude, I just do it. I mean, if you want to get it done and you're hungry enough out there, and you want things done, you got to do it rather than cry about it.
Okay. Well, so I
That's a lesson for your kids, Popper.
They need that
Oh, he's.
lesson sometimes. Yeah, that's okay.
It's good. The thing is, I mean, not get too serious though. I do think that if you're a founder in here or you're trying to build something for yourself or you're out there, I think it's good to just know you got give yourselves a few minutes. You're human, or a few seconds or whatever. You're human, but then like I love that. Walk it off. Like, that's life. We're gonna be engaged in challenging things and hurdles all the time, and we're gonna get our fucking, you know, chin scraped and a few black eyes along the way from, like, I don't know, a baseball or something, and you just keep going. And I think it just it's just life, and so I just think it's good preparation. And yeah, I'm like, what is it that Rocky said to his son? Um, if you take the hit, but what's
Oh
important is
yeah.
that you get back up.
Doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down.
Yeah. What's important is you get back
Yeah,
up.
for sure. For sure.
So, I mean, and that's my
And
motto.
honestly, and Jordan, as a creator, I feel like another big key thing is not being afraid to ask for help. Like not being too big to ask for help because a
Ooh,
lot of the a
ooh,
lot of the
did you talk to some
go.
of my best friends? Oh my god, how did you get that insight? Jesus fucking Christ.
Really?
Go Dude, that is my Achilles heel, but go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's one of those things I struggle with it myself, obviously, as
Mm,
a member of the male species. Don't always look to ask for help. I can do it myself. But when
yeah.
it comes to some projects, it's you take a look around and you see that the ones that are really thriving have leaders that aren't afraid and actually seek out help, right? Because you can't do everything, right? And it's nice to always be able to find good people and lean on them, like Mags, you know.
Yes, like Mags.
yeah, okay.
It's true. I look, I struggle with this, for a couple of reasons. One, I agree with you, but I think that you have to be really careful about the people that you surround yourself with. And I mean, I'm human and I've made mistakes, and I've paid for those mistakes. And a lot of that, a friend of mine said to me the other day, another woman filmmaker, she's like, sometimes when you have no resources, like, you just kind of say yes to the people that, like, come in really strong and they're like, "Oh, we can do this and we'll do this and yeah, whatever." Um and you end up in a situation that is not win-win like you hope. So I have two feelings about this. One is, yes, you cannot do it all by yourself. Nobody can. And the greatest struggle though is to find really great partners who really believe in your vision and what you're doing. And the other thing that I struggle a lot with is coming up in independent film. Everyone was always like, "Look, if you can work on my film for free, it'll pay off in the future." It never paid off. And I ended up, 2 decades later having to figure out, like, how in the world am I gonna get to make my films, which again, like, I look at it now and I'm like, this has been a great journey because film 3 wouldn't exist as it is, like, as we know it now, had I not, had those challenges and been on that path. But the truth is that I really, um, I chafe a lot against asking people to volunteer, and it has to be a win-win situation. It has to be something that they feel like that they're going to get an extreme amount of value. And I know that what I'm doing, that people will get an extreme amount of value, but also it's not easy work. It's not easy to try to grab the brass ring. It's not easy to try to do things that you hope will change the world. So yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I am super naive at times, and finding someone that's good to help isn't always the easy thing because obviously, especially in crypto, right? We see people that are just out there looking to take advantage, and it's really unfortunate. But
Yeah, my hope, and one of the things that I'm really proud of is I feel like that so many people loved MetaCannes last year, and it brought it's additive to their lives that get to they it's look, time is the only resource that we cannot recover. So if people are going to come into MetaCannes and spend time, I want them to be entertained or moved or feel, and I have been thinking about, I do think about the audience. That's really something that I find a lot of pleasure in. And I hope that like next year we'll be able to expand and even have more value to offer. But I feel like it's important to me that this is not extractive. This is about creating a cinema loving community, and a place for us to come together and watch films and talk about it, and I hope make a difference in ultimately in the world as film 3 and the business model become more and more known. The more people embrace what we're doing out here, what all of us are doing out here in web 3, and trying to build a creator economy and one that is sustainable for creators.
And we will be right back.
This week's episode is brought to you by Dr. Theta's Community Guardian Node. Theta's premier community guardian node where you can stake your Theta if you don't run your own guardian node. Best of all, 100% uptime so you do not miss any rewards and 0 fees so you earn 100% of your T-Fuel. Trusted by Theta Labs, you can easily stake directly within your wallet. Simply go to the staking tab, choose Delegated Guardian Node, and find Dr. Theta's Guardian Node. Quick, simple, reliable, and best of all safe as the coins never leave your wallet. Stake with the Doc today. This week's episode is brought to you by GuardiansOfTheta.com, offering 0% one-click Theta Guardian staking with random monthly token giveaways. Guardians also airdropped everyone staking with him an NFT that you're able to stake and earn T-Vibe. 100% uptime, 0 fees, random giveaways, what's not to love? Stop paying 4% and come join the fam with Guardians of Theta.
Papa Max, yeah. Papa Max. Papa Max Podcast. Papa Max Podcast.
you gave us a little bit of insight into what next year looks like already. You're going to have submissions. It sounds like it's going to get bigger and bigger. Where do
Yeah.
you see this thing going?
I would love for us to be literally the MetaCannes. I would love for MetaCannes to be what Sundance was to indie film. I would love for MetaCannes to be that for this new world we're moving into with Web3 and with community driven projects, and I think a creator economy. I would love for MetaCannes to be known in the future. And I think that we can do that together. But I would love to see it become its own Sundance, but of the virtual world. And by the way, I would also love to have an opening night IRL. Like seriously, I think that would be cool as fuck too.
Well, hopefully nobody will tell you meta can't do that.
Better can't. You better can't.
Oh, there she is. New York's here.
Yeah. Actually, no is my favorite fucking word because I'm so used to it as coming up as an actor. Like, I just eat fucking rejection and no for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So just go on. Like, I've said there's been so much no that like the last 2 years in Web3, and we're still prevailing.
Not to go back to it, but as a Swiftie, instead of walk it off, it should have been shake it off, I believe.
Oh, dude.
I don't want to get you in trouble though, but just
Dude, it should have been shake it off.
shake it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try not to. Yeah.
I mean, it also could be Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. Oh, that's Tortured Poets Department. It's actually truly a masterwork. Just so you know, I am
Okay.
finally a full on Swiftie. This album is. You have to give it time though. It's layered.
Well, as you say, time is the only thing I cannot replicate.
You can't. You can recover money. You can recover a lot of things. You can't recover time. So don't waste
Yeah.
time.
Oh, well, then I'm screwed.
Oh,
Yeah,
Upper
I
back.
got some stats. I got some stats on an online website of how much time I spent
Ooh.
streaming some stuff, and yeah. Anyway, that's a different story for a different day.
What's your favorite film right now? What's your favorite show that you're streaming? What's your favorite game? What are you streaming, Popper?
My favorite
Popper.
game is baseball, obviously. No, I'm coaching my son, so that we're having a lot of fun with that. I honestly don't watch a whole lot of TV. It's usually like whatever the kids are watching. And right now, you wouldn't guess,
Yeah.
my daughter is huge into Full House, like the original.
Full House.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I never even watched
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Wow.
What?
Yeah. No, it wasn't European. It wasn't a foreign film.
Yeah.
It wouldn't play at Cannes. I wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about a heavy Greek episode actually before you got on of Full House.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
maybe you
That
would have
would've
got.
played.
Yeah, that would have played well.
Kid marriages and divorces. Yeah.
Yep. You just walk around the table and then you walk backwards around the table to get divorced.
Naked?
True story.
Because
No, they were kids.
Hey, come on.
They got
I
married by
family,
mistake.
it's a family show.
Not European.
Yeah, not your exactly.
Do we
Jordan,
have a
you
European Theta fam? We must.
We do.
Jordan, there's a Theta Eurocon coming out.
I know. I can't be there, but yeah.
Same. Yeah. But you know, if our audience isn't from the US, it's international, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been
That's a
fun
shock
this year. I've
fact.
gotten to get to know more of the Theta fam. It's been cool. Like Canoe Man, give him a shout out.
Camp Kyle.
Camp Kyle.
Camp Kyle, aka Max Theta.
Affectionately known by me as Canoe Man.
I like that.
And Swamp Ass.
She said it right. Rob Feldman.
Rob Feldman. Oh well, yeah. I mean, hey, Rob Feldman.
Back in the day on his streams, he says, "I'm not saying that. I'm going to say swamp butt."
God, why does he act like a boomer all the time? Do you remember I called him boomer on my show, on my ex show, and he's like, "I'm not a boomer. I'm not a boomer." And then we spent on my podcast. We spent like the first 30 minutes.
Oh my god! If people have not checked out that episode in particular, that is a laugh riot. Popper, didn't you check that episode out?
It's so good.
Oh, that was the one you
feel
were
like you did.
all about.
In fact, I
Music
think that's
they were
the
talking
one.
about in the beginning.
Yeah, that's the one I think your promo is in front of.
Yes. So check out the Film 3 OG, the next wave of with Rob Feldman.
Yeah, so good, so good. He's so awesome. Psycho KO.
So Jordan, you mentioned a possible IRL meetup for opening night in the future.
Wouldn't that be
what are
cool?
your plans? Yeah, it would be cool. But what are your plans for opening night this year?
Good question. Look, I don't know if you guys know this, but the squad has done everything that is done without a treasury. So while we did drop a member pass 18 months after I had been, doing spaces and building the Film 3 movement, I think ETH was down. I think we made around $20,000, and that money went into the Film 3 Summit for the first year. So before then and since then, everything that we do has basically been from pure conviction. And I say that because a lot of the cool things that we've been able to do have come from sponsorships and from partners, and we would not have been able to do half of the cool shit that we did without them. So this year, sadly, we couldn't get any sponsors for what I was hoping would be a really cool party at Cannes. But next year, I'm not letting that happen again. So that just means that I have to do better at meeting the right people. And I mean, I'm just getting really real here. This is not my strength. My strength is really being on a set and directing and getting great performances out of actors, and choosing great compositions with my cinematographer to tell stories. But I think that we've built something, and when I say we, I really mean the core group, the Theta team at Thetadrop, led by Andrea Barry.
In front of the Pinecast.
Yes, friend of the Pinecast. And the team of Kyle and Amber and Tyler and the rest of them over there, who have really worked hard to make this as successful as it's been. So I'm super grateful to have that kind of partnership, and I've learned a lot, and it's been fun to build this with them. But it's on me as a founder at this point, because I'm not someone who's looking for VC money. I'm not I'm not looking to, especially since women only get 2% of it anyway. So it just seems like a waste of time. So looking for the right partners to build MetaCannes into what it already looks like out there in the world. It's got great optics, and we show great films. And I think that basically the sky's the limit for us. But it takes a resourceful team to build something like this.
Can you tell me
They're like,
how
yeah.
long it took you to curate all of these films this year? Like, how is this a year-round process that you spent doing, or is this like the last 6 months?
No, 6 months, I guess, but off and on. I start to look around and ask some. It's not easy to find films, and I'll tell you why. A lot of filmmakers don't own the rights to their films, and if we're in Web 3 and you're in Film 3, self sovereignty is really important. And so ownership of your intellectual property is really important. And one of the things is that when filmmakers sell their ownership, their intellectual property and the rights to others, they no longer have the rights to show it, even at a film festival. So like we were trying to get a surprise. I'm not gonna say who it is, but we were trying to get a Film 3 film that we couldn't get because the sales agent was like, "Well, I don't know, it's online," and it's like, dudes, this is studio level DRM. Like, it's no different than if you put it on fucking Netflix. Like, you can't. In fact, you can't take a picture of it, like screenshot it. You can't share the password. Like, it's really safe, but they wouldn't go for it. So you have moments like those where you want to do something really cool and special, and then you don't get to. And then again, like feature films, really hard to get them into a film festival. But I think next year, since we're going to open up submissions, we're going to be able to tap a lot of the filmmakers who haven't sold their rights yet. But the amount of hours that I put into this, hundreds and hundreds of hours. It's not just the curation. It's design and website and copy and marketing, and all of that comes from basically me.
Uh, so back to it. Here we are back again. Little short commercial break there. Um, Man, what was I gonna say? So are these people like the sales agent that kind of turned you down?
Mm,
Is this something you
mhm.
think you could get back in front of them with a Medican NFT to show them how this works and the security behind it to get
No.
them interested? No, they're not like
They
that.
have to be educated, and in the traditional industry right now, especially for a sales agent, they don't see the point here. It's not going to make them any money, so they're trying to sell to distributors and then make money. So it's and especially for them, why fix what's not broken for them? It's broken for the artist. It's not broken for them. Like they literally are taking an asset and selling the rights, licensing the rights and making money off of that and getting the majority of the revenue off of that. The creator's not. So this is, a lot of what we're trying to fix in film 3.
Gotcha. That does make sense.
You guys feel so inspired by this conversation.
Very inspired, Jordan. I can't tell you
Especially
how
Popper. Popper's like, what's my
Popper's
uh
crushing this.
he is. It's true, he is.
I don't know
I'm the
about
weak link
that.
this
I'm gonna
time.
take the piss out of you guys because I'm like, this is my job.
No, it's all good. It's all good. You're right. I'm out of
Mhm.
my league.
So
This
so
is
all right. So Jordan,
Yeah.
I think it's probably a good segue to go into Justine Bateman.
Oh, poor Justine. What can I say? Um, I will say that I didn't actually watch that show either. So, I I mean, look, she is so misinformed, and I wanna be really careful here, and usually I don't give a fuck, but there are a lot of people that have aligned with her that I feel like are also misinformed and who I respect a great deal. So I think that, look, Justine didn't wanna get into a conversation about AI, and all we asked was that she have a conversation during the strikes. But instead of having a conversation, she blocked all of us. She blocked, uh, like, Lauren Neal, the smartest fucking person in the room about AI, and, an incredible actor, filmmaker herself, and Jason Charnick, who's been in the post-production world for years, and he's like, "Well," I mean, he's like, "We've been using AI in post-production. Like, what is your issue now?" Um, and, like, a bunch of other people. She blocked a ton of people, including me, and it was simply because it was like, "Let's have a real educational discourse on AI in the film industry." She's afraid it's gonna take away jobs. Well, guess what? The Industrial Revolution took away jobs. This is the second industrial revolution. So you can either embrace it and understand that things like rotoscoping, which are a post-production thing, can be facilitated in a way that it will lower the cost of the production, with AI, and is already, again, being used, in post. I mean, what the fuck is green screen? And when you're doing, um, I don't know, when the actor's getting in the, I forgot what you call it, the mocap. Like, what do you think is happening in this virtual world? These are the same ideas. So you're not losing jobs. Jobs are going to be created. And the other thing is the democratization of AI. Like, this is the conversation she refused to have and just blocked us all. So there's a democratization in AI that is insane, because if you have an incredible story that you want to tell, right? And it's a big story, let's say. It doesn't have to be. It can be an indie film, but let's just say you have a big cinematic story that you want to tell on par with a lot of, like, some of the bigger Hollywood things, whether it's a car crash, whether it's a like a Marvel film, but you can't afford the kind of post that they can do. You can't afford a crane shot, a jib. You can't afford, um, massive lights. You can get all of that inside Runway and Pika if you know how to use those tools, and they're only getting faster and they're only getting better. So the democratization of someone like myself who cannot afford a crane shot or a jib on my films because they're super expensive, I can literally achieve that in Runway. And so suddenly I am free to tell stories that have been languishing in my hard drive for years because I have tools. And so if someone now who's in Idaho picks up those tools and they become incredible with them, or I'm going to point to Nicholas Newbert, who's got three films in our AI cinema block. I think he's from Germany. I want to say Austria, but I think he's from Germany. And he just moved to New York. Why? Because he picked up the skills within the last year. He's so unbelievably good and talented with prompting and his visuals that he's worked with Jared Leto and he's working with a ton of people, and they moved him to New York. So there's a perfect example of someone who grabbed these tools and it, as far as I'm concerned, if you know how to use Premiere, if you know how to use After Effects, you can literally get inside of Runway and you can be 70 years old and you can reinvent yourself, but you have to be willing and not afraid. Another mic
And
drop. Okay.
no, and not afraid to use Final Draft 2012 either.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
so Jordan, anything else that we need to
I don't know,
discuss?
man. I feel like which by the way, I'm not sure. I mean, I hope to make Thetacon this year. It's a dream. But I know I'm just thinking about, oh, sorry, Mags. Popper, I'm thinking about that really special dinner we had.
Too soon.
Still too soon.
Oh.
The octopus.
Listen, I
was
gotta tell you
delicious.
guys something. The octopus. I can't remember. What was I really into? Like braised tips or something. Like it was the
I don't
wine.
know.
The wine. Me and Wes were really into the wine.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Wes also. I loved hanging out with Wes. Now listen, and then if you guys don't know this and he cannot edit this out, but Mag sent me the greatest gift ever. Ever. Like the most thoughtful gift. It was I mentioned how much I loved his sweatshirt and how I always wanted one, and then suddenly I had 3. 3, not just 1. I
Wow.
wear them as much as I can. I know.
I don't do that for everyone, Jordan.
I
Just so you know.
know.
So
That's why I'm giving you
nobody.
a shout out and all your flowers, because dude, I love those. And the cream one, I like keep pristine because I want to take it on my travels, but I'm so afraid that I'm gonna like get red wine or something on it, so it's not coming. I'm taking the blue one.
I wore that one once. I love it, but I'm just I know myself, and
Yeah, right? You're afraid. Like it's just too it's nice. So like if, something that I'm gonna do that's nice, it gets worn. But yeah, very carefully.
yeah.
Anyway, yes. So
If
that's
you're
Max guy.
if you're afraid of spilling red
Um,
wine on a hoodie, you should get the ketchup one.
uh, you can't redeem for that, but you can buy expired redeemables.
I
You know.
am lost.
No, it's all right. No, there was a
Can we replay that? Go on.
there's a popcorn guy. Never mind. All right.
Ooh.
I'm so gullible.
Ooh.
I'm so gullible
Ooh.
with everyone.
Ooh.
And it continues. Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, are you gonna put
So
some
Jordan, are
like
these
good
video
I don't know
films going to be available
jokes in the
the day of the drop?
They are. So the tickets were available to pre-fund, although I like to say the box office is open and they are set for sale. The streaming pass was on Friday, May 3rd. So on May 12th, it opens up to watch films, and you have from May 12th to May 25th to like watch all the films. There's some panels too. Andrea Barry, Laurie Schwartz, Sean Morrison. We do Women in Media. I talked to Nem Perez. This is a really fantastic conversation. He put together our T2 remake, which is a feature film, and it's a parody on Terminator. And he basically collected 50 AI artists, and they all came in and they got like certain sections of the script, and then they had to spin up the visuals for that, and it's super fun, super cool, and really impressive. So that's fun because that's an AI feature film. Most people are still working, under 4 minutes. Oh my god, they're stuck in Telegram again. back and forth to each other on Telegram.
We're not talking to each other, Jordan. I swear to you. I swear to God,
We're on
not
mute
talking.
yelling at each other. Mag, say something.
That's what, yeah. Your turn. Mikey. Think Mikey will. He'll do it. Give it to Mikey.
So before we wrap this
Anyone
up,
here
Jordan,
Gen X
did
enough
we
to
miss
know
anything?
Mikey?
Is it?
Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey. He
We
likes
miss
it.
Mikey.
He
I
likes it.
He
Life
likes
cereal, shout out.
No,
Good.
Kicks.
Remember that one?
Kids.
No, that was
No?
Kicks. Right?
Was it
Tricks
Kicks?
are for kids. Oh no.
No.
Tricks are for
Kicks?
kids.
He really likes it.
Tricks are for kids.
Tricks are
Yeah,
for
not
kids.
tricks.
Oh my God,
Kicks.
we should be on TikTok with this shit, because we don't know anything. Get them, both of them, mics off. Both of them, just so, dear listener, both of them, their mics off because they are
No,
trying
he was
to
right.
find out
It's life
what is
cereal.
what.
I was
That's
wrong.
we both muted each other to go and find the answer.
You did,
Like
totally.
dunked on him.
Dear listener,
Yeah. Dear
they're
listener,
trying
Mags
to
was
outdo
right.
each other on Google.
They'd already figured it out too.
This is a Pinecast first, if you're still listening.
Listen, what was your favorite thing last year about MetaCannes? Oh, I don't know. Popper didn't watch it, probably.
I don't think he did. I told you Irish Goodbye.
Irish Goodbye was awesome. And that's actually a perfect example. That film did its festival run, and that film you can't see it now. So it was super special. That won the BAFTA and the Oscar for the live action short. And only 2 or 3 films have ever done that. So it was super historic. It's a great film.
You know, I when it came on, I was like, I don't know if I'm into this. And then I was like, oh, then I'm enthralled. And then it's like the ending. That was great.
Yeah.
I can't. It was good from start to finish.
Yeah. It's funny, dark humor,
which the Irish are known for. So you never lean into the Bane character. Do you feel in control?
Well, I mean, I love Tom Hardy, but it's spelled differently, so it doesn't hit the same. Yeah. But I mean, anything Tom Hardy does, pretty much, I'm into. He's a terrific actor.
I haven't worked with him yet, but yeah, I heard great things.
Can't wait for you guys to work together.
Hey, so Jordan, thank you so much for putting up with us again. We really appreciate it. And guys, get out there. If you haven't already pre-funded this thing, go do it. Don't bother with the one of 8 because you know there's other people that probably don't want them either. So just leave those ones alone, if you know what I'm saying. No, just kidding. Go get them.
I think they're priced really reasonably for what people are going to get. $300, not $500, not $1,000. $300, and I promise you, I overpromise. I mean, I underpromise, over deliver always. That's my game. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Well, Jordan Bayne, Film 3 OG, thanks for coming on this episode. Nothing happened before that we cut out and just cut to this. That didn't happen. But I want to say thanks for coming on the show, and hopefully you've all bought your MetaCannes 2024, and we'll see you in the cinema.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
You have been listening to the Pops and Mags Pinecast. Music provided by Sushi Cat. Like what you hear? Send that cat a very nicely worded compliment on Twitter @JustAddSpam. Pops and Mags is a Scumbag Hat production in association with Pam's Day Spa.